Welcome back to Blizzard Abroad. This is Lunch Break Conversations. Today I want to talk about why I talk about the United States in the manner that I do. It's not because I hate America. It's not because I want to see America burn or anything like that. I'm not unpatriotic. I love my country just as much as anybody else. But the reason why I talk about America the way I do is because the things that I see happening in America. You know, every time we bring up anything that we don't like about America, people click off quick because they only want to hear good things. But we know all the good things about America. You know, that's all we've heard our whole life. That's all we've heard our whole life, but you know, we have to live in the real world. You know, and we have to see and experience things in the real world. You know, so I see the analytics, I study them, and every time I bring up, especially gun violence, man, that retention goes boom, straight nosedive. You bring up gun violence, man, but you know what? I'm living with it. I'm living through it every day. I mentioned in a previous video, a kid that was on my team that got shot in the chest in the mall here in Waterbury, in broad daylight, over the stupidest thing. Something that you know years ago would have been a fist fight. I would, we would have been mad that the kid was fist fighting in the mall. We'd have been all over him about that. But thinking back now, you know, looking at it now, you're like, man, I wish it could go back to those days where kids just fought, man, and just went about their day. You know, and that was like towards the end of the year. I think that happened in December. Um, but I didn't mention all the other incidents because they were just like more personal, more like a close friend of mine, a buddy of mine that I grew up with, you know, lost his son to gun violence last year. You know, a woman that I'm very close with um, lost her son to gun violence in the last year. Just a few weeks ago, I lost another player, former player of mine, to gun violence. You know, it's serious. And I know that people want to come here to be entertained. And, maybe they want to get away from the subject for a few hours, few minutes or whatever. So they just don't want to hear it. But this is a reason that this is a huge reason, a huge factor in my decision to decide to move abroad eventually. This affects me every day. So when I say that I was in the Philippines and I exhaled, and you'll hear people say that. It's real. It's real to get that pressure, that fear, that anxiety off of you for a minute. For a lot of us, we're just so used to walking around with it. We don't even realize it's there anymore, man. It's just life. When you get that exhale, it's like a drug, to be honest. For me, it's like a drug, man. I can't wait to get back to the Philippines, because here it's constant pressure, man. And it's like, it's not something that I can't handle. I've been living here my whole life. I mean, as much as I want to get back to the Philippines, my feet are here in America. You know, this is what I have to deal with. This is what I have to get through. And I'm going to speak about it because I know that there are many, many other people that feel the same way that I feel. We just, for some reason, can't have these conversations out loud. You know, I don't know. It's almost like when we were younger and our parents would tell us, you know, what happens in this house stays in this house. You know, that's a fucked up way to, you know, to look at stuff. You know, my mom never actually said that, but I heard that a lot growing up. Um, but you know, we all know what's going on, man. I've said that in a previous video. We all know what's going on here, but nobody wants to talk about it. You know, especially the men that travel abroad. You know, or the people that critique them. There are people that actually think that the only reason why men travel abroad is for women. When you have guys like me, I know I don't get a lot of views on my videos, but I'm not the only one up here saying this, man. This is nobody wants to watch it. You know, everybody just clicks and views what it's like to be black here, you know, how to get a Filipino wife, black in China, you know, bunch of BS that's not offering anything to anybody. And I'm not saying that I'm everybody's cup of tea, because I know I'm not. You know, I'm new. I'm still trying to figure this. I'm still trying to figure this out. All I could do is turn this camera on and speak my mind. You know, I'm not up here shucking and jiving. You know, I'm just up here telling you what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what I know that other people around me are feeling. You know, gun violence is real, man. And for me, it's a main issue, and it hits very close to home. You know, to have that kid's father come to practice today. We all gather around, and we all, you know, there's nothing you can say that's gonna bring that guy's kid back. There's nothing I can do that's gonna bring that father his son back. So don't tell me to be quiet. Don't tell me that, you know, don't tell me I live in the greatest country on the planet. Don't tell us that. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing that we live in the greatest country on the planet when our kids are being killed. Don't tell me that. I'm sick of it. Our kids are being killed and we're not doing anything about it, and we don't even want to talk about it. We want to talk about how to get on a dating site. We want to talk about how to find a Filipina. how to find a wife in Thailand. It's bullshit. This content isn't for everybody. All I'm saying is that just keep it real, man. Tell the people the truth. Not every video, not every video has to be like this. Has to be realness and raw. But at least inform the people watching you, man. Because honestly, we're being attacked, but we want to leave for legitimate reasons. There are real issues that are forcing Americans out, and it's not just passport bros. You know, it's older couples that are traveling abroad that are leaving. There's just so many. You know, not everyone is showing you their life. You know, people are leaving quietly every day. And they don't have the numbers. They're not going to tell you the numbers. Believe me. I tried to look them up. You know, you get estimates here, estimate there. You know, they don't track it. I don't believe they can track it. But it's just, there's just a lot of BS out there, man. And like I said, I watch videos for every once in a while. I don't want to keep watching the same stuff over and over again. So I'll watch something just to get my mind off of things. I get it. But then I gotta come back to real life. I don't live on YouTube. We all live in the real world. You know, how many videos could you watch of a scantily clad woman cooking, not doing nothing, bro? You're not learning anything from that. Maybe you're not learning anything from me, but I can tell you what's really going on here in America that nobody seems to want to talk about. You know, this is why my content seems negative, I guess. But if it's negative, it's because the environment I'm in. You know, and I've also heard, you know, you're doing good things, man. You're volunteering. Why don't you stay and try to fix it? Like, not to sound crazy, I've been trying. For 16 years, I've been volunteering in the community. I've been there. I love doing it. I love the connections I make. I love seeing kids be successful. I love when they come back, because they always come back. They always come back. Or I see them around town. Or I see their parents, you know. So I love coaching the kids of people I grew up with. I've tried to quit. I've tried to walk away and say, hey, I need to focus on doing this and focus on, you know. I always come back. I always come back to it. I love it. I got 3 hours of sleep today. You know, but I made sure I made it to practice on time. Because I love doing it. But it's volunteering. I'm violent. I'm a volunteer. And the crazy part is that we're expected to fix the community when we actually pay people who have much more experience and education. We pay them to figure these things out. And I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like, I've lost all faith in the politicians. All faith. I'll tell you this. My congresswoman was a public high school teacher when she got elected. She was teacher of the year, and then she parlayed that into running for a congressional seat. She won. She was making what, $50,000, $60,000 a year as a public school teacher. You know, one term, she gets reelected. She's a fucking multimillionaire now. She's from the hood. We all know her. She is from the hood, man. So she knows exactly what's going on. You know, she went to Washington, and now she's a millionaire. And, you know, they'll reelect her because they always do. You know, I don't know. I just wanted to come up here and just let you know why I have the tone. I'm not a negative person. I'm a very positive person. But I gotta be real, man. That father showing up to practice today, like, really got me, man. It really got me. And then seeing that thing about the Surgeon General, gun violence is a public health emergency. Like, we all know that. We've been knowing that for years. You know, you could have did that on day one in office, but you wait until 4 months before an election. You know, it's just like, I don't want to talk politics because I know how divisive that could be. We should be able to talk about it, but it's just, we just can't. All I'll say is that, you know, I'll be a loser back home. I'll be a loser. I'll be a sexpat, whatever, man. But I'll be that from another country soon, because, like, I'm not happy here. I don't like what's going on here. I don't like how, you know, we can ignore the pain and suffering of everyday Americans and just go about our business like nothing happened. Like, we can be so desensitized, you know, on suffering right here. You know, I don't like how our government could claim to project freedom and democracy around the world when people are dying every day here in our streets. People are starving. People are sleeping under bridges. Right here in America, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it, man. Like, talk about all these superficial things, you know. So, like I said, you know, don't tell me I live in the greatest country in the world when my kid could walk out the door, you know, and get shot at any moment. I could. Senseless acts of violence, you know. So I don't plan on it. I don't plan on it, but I would rather be in another country, figure out where my next meal is, than, you know, than to worry about if my kid is going to get killed or not. That is crazy. I would rather have to worry about where my next meal is coming from than to have to worry about if my kid will be murdered because of a senseless, random or not act of violence. And that is much more likely to happen here in America than abroad. You know. But I don't know. I know a lot of people have probably already clicked off this video, you know, as soon as I mentioned anything about, you know, anything negative about America. They don't want to hear it, man. You know. But I won't bury my head in the sand. I keep saying it over and over again. You know, I don't think you should either.